All right, good to get back to work after a Monday night game. We had a walkthrough today. Obviously, late night game. Guys beat up a little bit, so had good work out there today. Really, guys were locked in, really focused. Made the most of our time out in the field today. Obviously, I know you got the injury report. I'll address the obvious that Bryce was listed as a projected DNP due to an ankle. So we'll see how he is tomorrow. But that's all the update I have for you right now.
How did he get hurt, Frank?
Don't know the exact play. Don't know the exact play.
And what would you say his chances are?
Don't know the answer to that right now. We'll see how he is tomorrow.
Is it a high ankle? Is it a standard? Do you know anything along those lines?
I do not.
With that said, do you think that impacted his performance on Monday?
I do not. Yeah, I do not think it impacted his performance. Based on talking to him about it.
Frank, should we read too much into you guys adding a quarterback to the practice squad? Is that a precaution?
No, you guys already know we only had 2 on the roster, and the plan all along was to go 2 for a few weeks and then bring in a 3rd eventually, thinking it would probably be Jake because we had him in training camp. Sometimes at the beginning of the year, I like to have a few extra. Scott and I talked. Let's have a few extra guys at some other positions we can get by for a few weeks. So yeah, that was part of the plan.
With it being a shorter week and Bryce, with you unsure with his injury status, how do you game plan going forward?
We're going to game plan. Our core stuff is always going to be our core stuff, and whether it's Bryce or Andy, I'm not sure there would be much difference between the 2 in a game plan. Maybe a couple plays, but not much. So we'll just move forward like we normally would.
So you take the approach right now that you're looking at Andy being a possible starter when you're game planning today, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, or how do you look at that?
Well, Andy got to work out there today, so that's that's all we have to go off of right now. But no, we take the approach of we're game planning for our team to win the game, to win a game. So, and our quarterback to execute at a high level, whoever that is.
Frank,
A lot
when
is
did you?
being made about the decision to bring Dalton in on short yardage plays. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, Andy's a very experienced QB, winning QB. We think it adds a little bit of element of mystery and surprise, and to keep defenses off bound. Why are they bringing this guy in? I've done that. I've done that before in past years in other offenses with other quarterbacks.
Regardless of the starting quarterback's height, which of course people are alluding to, Bryce's size is why you're making that decision. You're saying this happened in previous seasons also.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, with all due, and I really mean this with all due respect. Like the fact that they're saying that about his size, I really could care less about that. We're doing it for strategic reasons. Strategic reasons.
Why do you think it was so successful with Jacoby when you did it in the past?
Because we could do more than one thing, and I think that's what Andy gives us. It's not like you're just bringing a guy in to do one thing. He can do multiple things. And you feel comfortable because it's, as we're saying, it's hard to just come off the bench for one play and then at the quarterback position and pop back out, right? That's a little bit unique. It's not totally normal, although it happens more and more these days with Wildcat stuff. But Andy's has the kind of experience that we feel like we can do that with. He can come off and his pulse doesn't change, like when on Monday night when I said, hey, let's go, you're in. Like his pulse doesn't change, okay? And there's 5 plays, that we got for him. Okay, which one of these are you running? Boom, and he knows what his menu of plays is, and that's kind of the way. If we continue to do that, that's kind of the approach that we'll take.
Frank, when did you find out that Bryce was hurt?
Monday night, just heard that he had been in for treatment, but and then it wasn't until Tuesday. Tuesday I knew he, I don't think much of the Monday night treatment thing. Just say, okay, I see the injury report, and see who came in for treatment, and then just kind of, I don't make much of it until it's 24 hours later, next day, let's see how they respond. And then he was still on there, so.
And given the idea that you guys have talked about him as a developmental guy, obviously, will you err on the side of caution where his health is concerned?
And one thing I've learned as a head coach about making these kind of decisions is it's a threefold decision. It's the doctor, the player, and the head coach. So all three have a say in the decision, obviously weighing most heavily on the doctor, then the player, and then, and then the coach. As far as, because what I've learned over the years is, A, I'm not a medical doctor, so trust what the doctor says. B, trust the player, because players know their body. So C, as the head coach, try to navigate and do the right thing for the team and the player.
Frank, if you have to start, Andy, you speak to the confidence you have in him.
I mean, if Andy's a starter, we got a lot of confidence. We have a lot of confidence. This is why you bring someone like Andy in. Our goal is to put our team in position to win championships, and even despite a tough start, that's still our vision. That's still our goal. That's what we're working towards. And my experience personally as a player and as a coach is that you're going to need somebody, for one game or two or three or somewhere along the line, and you're going to need to win those games. And if Andy plays, we believe he gives us a very good chance to win.
There were a few other guys on the injury report.
Go ahead, Baxter.
Brian Burns, Justin Houston. Do you have any further information about them? Miles Sanders?
No further information. Obviously they all made it through the game. They all projected as limited. So I think they're all in decent shape, but we'll see how they respond in the next 24 hours.
Frank, what's your level of concern, not just for Bryce playing, but understanding how important every rep is in his development?
No doubt. So he wasn't, he didn't take the reps today, but he's out there. He was out there, locked in on every call, like he was under center, So he's getting ready to play, whether it's this week or whenever, because every rep is important. So, I have confidence in Bryce to, if there's days, and listen, it's a long season. At least most of the quarterbacks I've been around, all of them, they're miss a couple practices throughout the year. I mean, that's normal. You get banged up. You play that position, you're going to get banged up, and and you might have to miss a day or two along the way.
And then just logistically,
No.
I was just gonna follow up on that. Logistically, it is a short week. You're flying 2,500 miles. Is this maybe the worst week to have Bryce just a little bit nicked up in that regard?
I mean, it just really depends. Yes, I mean, according to the books, yeah, you'd obviously like to play. You want every minute you have to recover and get to full strength. Although, once you get to week 3 or 4 in the season, everybody's pretty banged, starting to get banged up. But that'll all be factored in the decision by the doctor, by the player, by the coach. That factors into the equation, absolutely.
Frank, you talked about this being a spirited day. It's the first day without Shaq. How's the team adjusted emotionally as well as on the field?
I mean, that's this team loves that man. I mean, this team loves that man and respects that man. So, we all understand the business side of it, but it doesn't go unnoticed.
We'll do a couple more.
Bryce,
We'll do David, and then we'll do Dave.
just the struggles the offense has had the first couple of weeks to be an observer and sit back and watch a little bit and let Andy handle it. And would that be a benefit to him at all, just sort of hypothetically?
Well, I don't want to get into the hypotheticals. I just think, Bryce is the kind of player that no matter what his status is, he's going to always be working to get better. That's just who he is. That's how I think he'll operate. And I have that confidence in him in that.
Right, this is also a logistical question. On a short week, is there a point where you feel you need to make that call to give your starter the best chance to succeed?
Yeah, there is, no doubt. I agree with that. And, I kind of have we have some general principles that we operate by. You know, they're just general principles. They're not absolutes that we say, hey, I'm not going to go into what those are, but we have internally, we have those, like how many days of practice is it needed for a young player to play versus a 10-year vet. You know, maybe you got a 10-year vet, if he's a younger player, maybe you want him to practice a little bit more. That's an idea of stuff that we think through and goes into the equation, and it all matters.
Frank, do you have any idea who's going to start Shaq's spot yet?
At who's,
Shaq's.
yeah. Listen, Camus played very well. So he's gonna get a lot of play. We might rotate some through. We're gonna continue to evaluate that. We don't want to. Camus is also such a great special teams contributor, so we just got to weigh out, how we're gonna approach that. But I want to give Camus all the credit he deserves for how he stepped in there and played. So if he plays every snap, he's earned it. You know what I mean? And if we end up deciding to rotate anybody through there, it's only because we're trying to do what's best for the team as far as making the best use of all of our players.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Go ahead.
But real quick, I know Bryce is really eager to kill all the time, but with another loss now an injury, have you noticed any change in his demeanor?
No, we all took that loss. We all took that loss hard. I mean, especially at the beginning of the year, because it's natural at the beginning of the year. All of our expectations are, they're very high, right? They're very high. Just so then you get into the season, and you face reality. It's up and down season. So you wish it upon yourself to go through that early, but kind of the theme has been, hey, this has happened for us, not to us. You know what I mean? So we'll learn from it. We'll grow from it. It will make us a better team as we move forward. And Bryce is in that category. I mean, leading the way in that category. So thank you.